we just completed a few months ago. It's in the final stages of review, where we're really looking at the prevalence of micronutrient deficiencies globally. We really only have okay data for women of reproductive age and for young children under 5 years of age. But what we can see, I think, unsurprisingly, in low and middle income countries is very high prevalence. When you think about the number and the prevalence of deficiencies, it's actually over half of the population. For women, it's about 2/3 of the population globally that have at least one deficiency. For preschool children, it's about 1 in 2, so about half. Those are very high numbers. In some countries, you look into Cameroon in Africa or India in South Asia, about 9 in 10 women have at least one deficiency. So this is a major issue. It's impacting your development, your growth, your cognitive performance, school performance, and ultimately has impacts that are long-term, economic, and they're intergenerational. So you think about malnutrition during critical stages of early childhood, adolescence, during pregnancy, these have really intergenerational consequences. Now, I think the more surprising piece, maybe to a lot of people, is that we looked at some evidence in high income countries. So we have data on the US and we have data on the United Kingdom. We found that 1 in 2 women in the United Kingdom have at least one deficiency.
Wow.
So that's half of the population of women of reproductive age. In the US, it's about 1 in 3 women from the data we have. Now, we're not looking at all micronutrients, so we don't have data on all of these. If we had data on every essential nutrient, we actually would probably see a higher prevalence. If you look at specific nutrients, in the US, iron deficiency is very prevalent. So for women, it's just over 20%. In the UK, it's similar. Zinc deficiency is actually around 14% in the US, about 10% in the UK. And also in the UK, we saw high amounts of folate deficiency and vitamin D deficiency, around 20%. So these are big numbers. And I think it's important to realize, in the context of a high income country, the United States or the United Kingdom, obesity, diet-related non-communicable diseases like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, they're a big public burden, right? And so those are certainly, I think, and rightly so, a top priority on people's agenda. But I don't think we can neglect the fact that people are not getting the nutrients they need as well. And it's often the same people who have these chronic conditions. So look, we need to look at nutrient density regardless of whether you're in a high-income country or not, or a low-income country. So I think we want to raise that awareness and just say we can't just ignore this sort of undernutrition, nutritional adequacy piece we see in all contexts globally. That's actually a concern for a large